Hi, frogs and snails. Welcome to some more Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Reforged. Hi. Are you ready to relax with me as we play a lovely point and click? Let's go. Okay, so hi, we are back in Paris after a big event in Ireland where we found the... What is it? We found this gem. So now... excuse me, I'm so sorry. I think we need to go back to the museum. But I don't know. We'll find out. Knowing a point and click. Excuse me, by the way. Knowing a point and click, we're probably going to have to figure out a way to get to this. Because we need this artifact or something that's in this museum. And we're needing to find a way to get it. Yes. Oh, there's a guy here. Hello.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobino?
Lobino?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Okay.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Montfaucon.
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
Okay.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's
Yeah,
right.
like he
He'd left the
disappeared.
excavation before I arrived. Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud. What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure. He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambitions. Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date. At dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested.
The Templars!
It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross.
Lewd?
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars. Literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
Interesting.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to the victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps. What would you not admit to stop such torment?
Yeah, he was like,
So
yeah,
there was no
sure.
truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the how they did investigations with the torture, like, because it was so brutal. Like, we were like, yeah, sure, okay, please stop.
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this
Not me being
manuscript?
like gay.
I'd love to see that for myself.
They're gay!
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
Yeah.
Female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye.
Ew.
Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf. This friend who has the manuscript,
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
she lives at 361
Oh.
Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Whoa! Why did you say it like that?
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I didn't realize he was
Sure
gonna
can,
tell.
Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
Georgie?
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained a mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's
Maybe.
likely?
In secret.
No, not for a minute.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Do you know this guy?
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Okay. So he might be going to Nico's apartment. I should go to her apartment. Like, hey, Nico, I gave this weird guy your address. I'm so sorry. I should have called. Oh, gosh. Though I think Nico knows, like, Kung Fu or something. She seems like a girly that was like, I've taken self-defense classes and I know what I'm doing.
Hey, Nico.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Have you found out any more about the Knights Templar?
Yes, I have. The guy responsible for the downfall was Philippe IV, the King of France, otherwise known as Philippe le Bel.
I've heard of him.
La
And
Belle.
he is known to history as Philippe the Fair, but I doubt if the Templars called him that. I'm sure André will tell you all about him.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
That's the gem that Pegram... Do you want to look after the gem?
No, Josh.
Oh yeah, she'd be too tempted to sell it. Okay,
I'll
okay.
see you again.
Okay.
I think I saw a new place on the map. I'm gonna see. Ugh, excuse me. Ah! Ah, I had to wake up early today. So sleepy. My body is like, take a nap. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And I'm like, I cannot. Okay, this is a new place.
Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Hmm.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd walk.
Oh, he thinks it's drugs.
Plaster
I
of
was
Paris.
so
It
confused.
is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Have you seen this guy?
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say?
Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
What about this gem?
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
Okay.
I'll see you around.
Let's see. Ooh, a manhole. I don't think he'll let us. No, 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 no. I don't think the policeman will let us play around with the manhole.
Hey, hey you! What do you think you are doing?
Nothing.
Leave that comer alone. Now.
I knew it.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
What?
There was no water to frolic about in, and the leaf mold that was collecting there just wasn't the same somehow.
Okay, what's up here? That's something I like about these point and clicks. They're just like, they're chill. So when you're just like wanting something and you're feeling a bit groggy that day, but you gotta play a game for, I don't know, your content for YouTube.
Waiting in prayer for the judgment day.
What's this?
Just think, there's a dead guy under there.
Yeah, that's how I am when I see like, when I go to like graveyards or something. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of dead people here.
The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well. A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll.
Hmm.
I wondered if this guy had died in combat. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A huge stained glass. A stone knight. A stone knight lay at...
Okay. See if there's anything over here. The
I
pews.
didn't have time to sit around. A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies.
Shut up!
The flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies.
Okay. What? What just happened?
A row of old... I thought of all those firm buttocks of the young lady. The flab... That wasn't a Whoa!
Oh, because he thought more of the ladies?
I didn't have time to sit around.
He thought back of the ladies? Is that why he said whoa? I was confused. Alright, we'll leave this chapel. Obviously there's something we can do here. Let's see. What's the sign?
In French, English, and German, it read, in 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
That sucks. That sucks. Should we try going back to the cafe, maybe? Oh, that one guy's gone. Well, I mean, he won a lot of money, right? If I remember correctly. So he doesn't have to work as hard. Ah, they closed down. I see. Okay, so maybe let's go to the police station. To the police station and see they have anything new to share. Oh, excuse me. Hello. What's his face is here though?
Excuse me?
Ah, Monsieur Stobbart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
Oh yeah, the like
I'd like to
mafia
report an
guys.
assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Ah, they're going after them.
What are you going to do about Flap and Guido, Sergeant?
I'm going to bust them, monsieur. For years I have been hoping to pin something on that pair. Now's my chance. I'll show them. And the inspector.
Thanks, Sergeant.
The
Thanks for
inspector.
taking me seriously.
I'm only doing my duty, monsieur.
Okay.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
His rival.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Okay.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yeah, we can go talk
Yes,
to him.
I do.
One moment, monsieur. Stobbart is here to see you, monsieur.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Oh, he's gonna come out to see me?
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobbart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
Oh?
But I've been taken off the case.
What about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
That's weird.
Do you know a pair of thugs called Flap and Guido?
I have known those two since they graduated from special school. Flap is a nasty piece of work. But Guido is the real brains of the partnership. Where did you hear of them?
I met them out front of the Hotel Ubu. Ever heard of a guy called Marquet? Jacques Marquet?
Marquet. I know the name well. He has a record for suspected blackmail, kidnapping, arson, and art theft.
An all-rounder, huh? How come he's on the loose?
His bravado is matched only by the courtroom skills of his attorney.
Have you heard of Professor Pegram, the archaeologist?
Molly Pegram, the second son of Lord Barclay Pegram.
I don't know. I only read about him in a magazine.
So much for the efficacy of rehabilitation. What has he done this time?
He made an important archaeological find in Ireland. Do you know Pegram well?
I have connections with the family, but I wouldn't say I knew him at all.
Is his name really Molly?
Of course not. That was the nickname he was given at school. All his friends and acquaintances know him as Molly.
Why?
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
Oh, then who was he?
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantown.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the
Oh, yeah, that's
treasury,
right.
wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been
Oh,
taken off the case.
gosh.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No, you must forget the business of the crown completely.
Hmm?
Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobbart.
They know something. What?
What was that psycho detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for fun and profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at a funeral.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
You're not gonna try any of that psychic interrogation on me, are you?
Do you find the thought of my probing distasteful?
Let's just say I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet. Have you heard of the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. But of course, monsieur,
But of course.
their fame is widespread throughout France. We haven't forgotten them, unlike the rest of Europe.
It was the King of France who persecuted them, though.
Indeed.
That shook his cool. Underneath his cultured facade, the man was real twitchy. You're obviously a great admirer of the Knights Templar.
They were men of great honor, monsieur. The flower of chivalry.
Not everyone would share your views, Inspector.
Not everyone shares my passion for Bartok.
But if the Templars were as honorable as...
That's enough. I do not wish to hear your uninformed opinions, Stobbart.
Why do you get
Touchy
so wound up
subject.
about the Knights Templar? They've been dead for centuries. I shouldn't have pushed my luck. Maybe his ancestors were Templars. Whatever. I saw the anger flare in his eyes like a distant summer thunderstorm.
The Templars were the first true internationalists. 800 years on, and still the world is fragmented by nationalistic flag-waving fools. You will excuse me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I upset you. He's very upset. He's gonna go back to writing at his desk angrily. Okay, so we learned about that the guy is at this hospital. So we probably are gonna need to go to this hospital, right? Yeah. Hospital. Hospital. This probably said it so bad. I could hear, I could just feel Johnny, Mama Johnny, cringing. For those that don't know who Mama Chani is my artist. my art mama, she drew me. And she's French, so that's why I'm like, oh, I wonder what Mama Chani would think of these accents. Oh, this is a pretty place. Look at the architecture. Oh, hi, doctor.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit. Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
And no, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm on your training, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Okay.
See you later.
Right.
Let's talk to the receptionist. She should be able to help us.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea.
I like
A little
them.
greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Ooh, what about these
Has
guys?
Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from a zoo.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Okay.
Have
Wallet.
you heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it? The kind of place where you get little umbrellas and, well,
Huh? That's romantic?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this ID.
so you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
Yes.
He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's
What?
Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's wrong with that?
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock, alarm falls. 6:10, bowel movement, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
Oh, you mean she's been here a long time?
No, I mean there's not a man in this clinic who hasn't sprawled out on her.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J.
Okay.
How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
I didn't
Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
I didn't register any of that. I didn't register any.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment,
Okay.
Thanks for...
I didn't register. I didn't. Nothing that she said made me register it. Okay. Oh, thank gosh. Did we get lost?
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Mr. Janitor!
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Do you know a nurse called Grendel?
Sure I do.
Is she on duty today?
Yeah. End of the corridor, Ward J2.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the quarters?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You take good care of the rock.
Oh, gosh,
With a
she's
friend
crazy.
like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you?
No, I
don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Whatever you've got with this metal mudfoot is probably a fine and noble thing.
It is? Say, it's not every day I meet someone as crazy as me.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Okay.
See you later.
Yeah? Take
I
care now.
feel we go that way. I was right.
Oui, monsieur.
Is this Ward J2?
It is, but you're not supposed to be here. We have strict rules about visiting hours.
Can't you make an exception? I've come all the way from California.
You must speak to the doctor.
I can't wait that long. What if he snuffs it?
You can't talk like that here. This is a hospital. You will have to leave.
What do you mean? I got permission from the receptionist.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why?
You can tell me how my brother is, can't you?
Of course, monsieur. What is his name?
Jacques Marquet.
Let me see. He's satisfactory.
I was told he was dying.
Well, he is, but the doctor described his condition as satisfactory. That's quite an improvement on yesterday.
Okay.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What?
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Thank you, nurse.
You may come back at visiting time, monsieur.
Thanks. When is that?
The second Tuesday of each month.
Oh, okay, we're leaving. Do I have to disguise myself as a doctor? What can I do about that? Oh! Water.
Maybe the face of the unaccountably happy domestic had made me unduly suspicious. I mean, I knew.
I can unplug it.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Oh no, how did that
Mr.
happen?
Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
I can't do anything. Man, he goes all the way over.
I wasn't in the mood. It was a classic I almost...
I wonder what we would need to do for that. Hey, Miss Receptionist. I went there and she kicked me out.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Oh, kitty. Okay, she has nothing new.
Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, miss. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean to get my hands dirty with a nurse.
What?
Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's
How come?
dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Merlin?
No, sir.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
See you later.
Right.
Let's see, what do we need to do?
Excuse me, sir. May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical...
Okay.
Does the name...
No.
Does this...
No, sir. I do not...
Do you reckon...
No. This is it. We...
Okay, what about this?
What do you make of...
Interesting. I thought I knew the ins and outs of the human body, but this has me beat. If I were you, I'd have this sample analyzed.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, sir. I do not.
Have you ever...
No, sir.
Useless.
Thanks for your help.
Useless to me. Let's see, what does the game say? Yeah. What if you were more than just a visitor? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Maybe he won't let me in this door.
Hey now,
How come?
I'm responsible for the content.
Okay, so I need to unplug so I can go in there. Nico.
As I tugged the plug...
Yeah, we know.
Not in.
Not again. That's not nice. It's so weird we have to watch him walk around this way, and then when he's coming back is when we can do something. Go Ed.
Dr. Stobbart at your service.
Okay. Do I need a name tag? Maybe, we'll see. Maybe I need a name tag. Oh.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Well, who's first?
Monsieur Croquet in bed 2.
What's his problem?
He's been complaining of loss of consciousness. You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Oh gosh.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stobbart.
This is
Hello,
not.
Doctor.
The nurse told me you keep losing consciousness.
That's right. I've had the problem as long as I can remember. It's a real out-of-body experience. Like death, but not so conclusive.
I see. How long does it last?
Just a fraction of a second, and then I recover.
I might not have been a doctor, but I was formulating a diagnosis all the same. This guy was nuts. I know exactly what you mean. It's known in the medical field as blinking.
Is it serious?
Of course it isn't serious. It's perfectly natural.
But just think, 2 seconds every minute? Why, that's almost half an hour every day. 2 weeks out of every year spent in total darkness.
I don't have time to listen to this baloney.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Which bed is Marquet in?
He's round the corner, in solitary.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know, but the men who brought him in were wearing masks and rubber gloves. Hey, you're a doctor. How come you don't know?
We doctors don't know everything.
Then how come you act like you do?
Because we
Has
can.
Marquet had any visitors?
Nah, neither have I. That's the worst thing about being in hospital. You feel like the rest of the world has abandoned you.
Well, you know how it is. Life goes on.
Thanks for those comforting words.
Have you seen this guy?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nah, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded...
One of your...
No.
I've never seen...
Okay, bye.
Well,
Thanks, Doc.
Okay, let's see.
Doctor,
Yes.
you haven't taken my blood pressure.
I'm sorry. Because I know how to use this.
seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
I will come back later then.
Oh, Doctor,
What now?
you didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Okay, I'm guessing he won't let me until I get it right.
Okay, let's try again.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners. Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Thank you, nurse.
Of what?
Pardon me,
Hang on.
nurse.
Oui, monsieur.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Okay.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Au revoir, monsieur.
His temperature was normal, with little...
Okay, will he let me go, or do I gotta... Yeah.
You haven't...
I figured I'd try one more time. I guess I need to talk to
Will
somebody.
you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
It's not like that. I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
Because every time I talk to him, it's different. So I'm like, is it a...
You haven't finished...
Will you keep quiet?
Okay. So maybe we need to talk to a doctor. I'll be like, how do I do this? Hello, doctor. Hello, doctor. Okay. Go this way. Can we talk to this doctor, or do we need to talk to the new one?
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful.
Well, he's been walking around here waiting
Come
for
here,
him, and
boy.
he's waiting for him. That's funny.
This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
I love that
Show
they
him
don't
around.
even, like, ask
Let
for
him
my
see some
ID.
real scenery.
Look what Nurse Grendel gave me, sir.
Ah, yes, very good. I'm glad to see you're carrying it with you. It reassures the public to see the medical professional using traditional archaic tools.
Okay.
So long, Hagen.
Oh, okay, he's
Hey,
gone.
Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Okay, so he's gonna
Forget
follow
it.
me. Come on. You can take this dude's blood pressure. Oh, nice.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk.
Oh, okay.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobbart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Oh my
Are
gosh,
you sure you're a
George!
qualified doctor?
Stop!
You better believe it.
Stop! I can't.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
I'm going to take...
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. See you later. Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Here.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Follow me, Benoit.
I'm right.
You haven't finished taking my...
I don't have it anymore. What's his face has it?
Will you keep quiet? Hey, Benoit.
Do I need to tell him?
Yes, sir?
Are you ready with that pressure gauge?
Primed and ready to pump, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
This guy.
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Alright, have a good day. Bye.
Rather you than me, pal.
Oh, he's been like beat up.
On the top of the chart was his name, Jacques Marquet. I didn't need to be a doctor to read the graphs. Marquet was dying.
He's fine.
Marquet?
Yes.
Yes, I am Marquet.
I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lamar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassins.
Not
Yeah,
me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster quickly. Tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care
Oh, they're gonna
of.
take it.
I
Those guys.
couple of stooges with a flair.
Yeah,
for
the mafia
petty
guys.
crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashashin?
He's more likely
Mm,
to have followed Klausner. He'll stop at nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad,
The
is it?
broken sword?
For Klausner, he has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that.
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
No, it's not the doctor.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter.
Oh no!
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Woo! Oh, and he left out the window. Is he okay? Back in Nico's apartment.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was
Yeah.
it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Hmm.
Can you think of it?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital.
I stole it
could
from
be
the
useful.
hospital.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No.
Gosh.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rosso or Sergeant Moo? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
And we haven't told her. Like, I guess that's what that guy's name is. Andre. But we need to go to the museum. Because they're going to steal it. Unless I need to talk to the police
You have
first.
left it very late, monsieur.
Late for what?
Anything? I am closing the museum soon. You wouldn't like to get locked in. I can tell you, not in this gallery.
Why not?
It is haunted, monsieur.
You don't believe in ghosts, surely.
Oh, yes, I do. 7 years ago, a lad managed to hide in here. It made a bet with his friends, I suppose. When I found him in the morning, he was cold as ice and stiff as a board.
Well, what was the cause of death?
They said it was a brain tumor. But on his face was a look of stark, desperate terror such as I have never seen before.
Scary.
Interesting.
Forget it.
Okay, so I have a feeling. Do I need to talk to him first?
Hi, Andre.
Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place,
I heard them planning the raid.
they're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes,
Templars.
they gave a new word to our language.
Templars.
Assassini,
The Templars.
assassin.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashi.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
I have a feeling we need to sneak into this.
No, monsieur.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, this is where I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time where we're going to figure out how to keep this thing from getting stolen. And we'll see what we got to do. All right. You have a good rest of your day. Bye.